clap it
Yes.
out.
I still haven't learned to time it yet.
We were just talking about that.
Every day, Joe, every day. Well, happy Saturday.
Must be Saturday.
Happy quarantine day.
How do we know it's Saturday?
Must be Saturday.
Only Joe Cal is here.
Sorry to let Brian Bass down.
And in person.
Live and in person.
Yeah. You know what? You should cover that first. You just said it.
You think I should?
Repeat that again in case anybody didn't hear.
I would go at it. Have at it.
Brian Bass or Arthur Horowitz, whichever name he's under, because we don't know. He has many aliases. Made a comment yesterday about my good friend Marco sitting in my chair. Not personally my chair, but the middle chair, which has been my chair.
Seat.
It has been my seat. You're right, guest of honor. And Marco is back with Tina and Arturo, and it's great that they're back. So Marco came on the set, and he filled in quite admirably. He pinch hit very well. But Brian Bass had to make sure he made the comment, I'd rather Marco than Joe Cal. Well. You know what, Brian? You can take the axe out of my back now. It's okay. And maybe next time I see you, we'll have to have a little private conversation. Yeah, what do you say about that?
You can't mess with the Brooklyn guy.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's got some Brooklyn connections too, but hey, wait, forget about it. Hey, I'm from Bensonhurst. I know people who know people.
Hey, Joe, and just because it's so timely, and because you're here today, today's meme of the day.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Now you can't leave.
Now you can't leave. Explaining it to the Italians, right? So maybe we're going to lock the door, Brian, next time you come in, and then you can't leave.
Yeah. And you know what? You know how I knew today was Saturday?
Is there another way?
Yeah.
Today is Saturday.
Today is Saturday.
I love that. I actually did, and I had been saying that I haven't been watching his updates. Yeah, I actually caught probably half of it this morning. So only because, I made a point to watch it because I was still a little up in the air of what's going on, what's open, what's not, because this is a little bit of a weird time.
Yeah.
So I know there's people that don't like him, and I'm not going to get into politics.
We don't talk politics.
And Kathy wants to make sure that that we love you, Joe Cal.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Thank you.
I find his presentation very calming. I think he's straightforward, and he tells it like it is. And I know there's people that don't like his politics, and that's fine. We all are entitled to our opinion, but his presentation is calming.
Yeah, it is. Well, he's a dad, and he's a husband, and he's talking like as if he would talk to his daughters, which he addresses his daughters a lot.
I do think it is kind of funny when he brings his family up.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
He talks about the boyfriend. The boyfriend.
But wait, I love. I have to say, there was a segment that his brother did with him. And his brother Chris had a show. Did you see that one? I think we talked about it with the old photo of them on the staircase, and Chris and Andy all dolled up, and he was not having it. He's like, all right, Chris, it's not funny anymore. You can take it down now. You can take it down now. And then he basically left. He didn't want to finish the conversation.
Really?
It's hysterical. And then the other side, Chris, who was always very calming, these days is not so calming. Right. And if you see the video of him outside his house yelling at his neighbors, not so
really?
calming. His neighbors
out.
called him out on the fact that he should have been in quarantine, and maybe he wasn't.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, there's a lot of love here for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Angelo is saying that we like the original middle chair.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And of course,
I love Marco too. So
back to the meme of the day, your friend Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah. If I've watched it, then you've watched it 139 times, Rob. If I've watched it 140, so come on.
Joe, did you have sake last night?
Oh yes, thanks for bringing that up. I was going to do a shout out. Kenny Soto and I had a FaceTime call last night because Kenny, one of our last shows we did on Monday night before bowling, Kenny brought a bottle of sake for me, for Joe Bruno, and for Andrew Payne. He knows we like the sake and the sushi and the whole 9 yards. Right. So I had this bottle chilling in the fridge. And
no sake.
Kenny, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I think you owe bottles here, Kenny. I'm sorry, brother.
Keep going, Joe.
I'll go halves on you with the case or whatever. So I had the bottle in the back of the fridge chilling, and sushi finally opened back up over by us. So we said, let's do a takeout. So we did takeout. I said, oh, the bottle. we got the bottle of sushi.
Perfect timing.
So I took a picture of our nice little spread
Setup.
of the sushi and the sashimi and everything, and I put the wine bottle there with the 2 glasses, and I took a picture. I sent it to Kenny. Within 30 seconds, my phone's ringing for a FaceTime call, and he's like, "You finally opened it." So Joanne got in the background, Heidi got in the background. We had a little chat. We did a toast, and he said, "He said, go eat your sushi." So it was all good.
Well, you know what, Ken? Thanks for the sake. Naz and I really appreciate the sake, and so does Kevin.
Yeah,
Moore.
I'm sorry, Kenny.
Hey, Kevin, we are ordering sushi tonight. That is what we're doing tonight.
There you go.
From our friends at Genki. I'm excited to do that. In addition, I have plenty of sake in my refrigerator, so I will send some over if you want some sake. We don't have to wait for Ken.
Yeah, there you go.
Because Ken does like the good stuff, but I do. Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry, Kenny. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, we love you too.
That's a good. It's very nice.
Yeah, it was a nice.
Share
yeah, it was good to see him.
Hey, Joe. So I got Joe. Before we got on the air,
yes,
and before we bring our special guest in,
yes,
she's awesome and amazing.
I can't wait to meet her.
You had asked a question. You had asked a question about Naz and I about last night.
Yes.
And I said you had to wait.
Yes.
So I want you to ask your question.
Yes.
And then before Naz answers, I want to share something else. So go ahead. Ask Naz the question you asked last night.
Okay. So for all you golfers out there, Frankie just put it on the tee for me. Naz, how was bingo last night?
But wait, if you caught the comments, you'd know.
Oh, very nice.
I enjoyed bingo last night more than just the win.
Maybe somebody else is buying sake.
We didn't have sake, but I had some sangria, and we had an enjoyable evening.
Very nice.
We played bingo for 2 hours. We get to the end, and we do the prize wheel for a lot of money on the money raffle. 520 clams. It's out there in the world, so people know. We spin the wheel and it lands on Nazareth Lawson.
Well.
And guess what? She wasn't watching.
You weren't watching?
You know what happened?
Did you fall asleep?
I could tell because she was so active in the comments all night, helping us, telling people things. She played Plinko. She had called in. Yeah, she had a great night.
What happened?
And then all of a sudden she's dead. And I'm sitting here going, Naz, you won.
So
Naz,
the only thing left was the wheel, the spin of the wheel.
Okay.
So I was really still working. So I've taken a lot of my work home. So I haven't hooked up to my TV because my mom plays, my daughter plays, my husband plays.
It's a family affair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I just switched my screen over to my work screen.
Because she was done with Christina.
There was no way I was winning any money. I don't even consider myself it's not even an issue. So I was involved in my work, and my daughter Liz was still there, and it was like on a small screen. I had it small, and my daughter Liz says, "Ma, your name is up there." She says, "You won," and I was like, "That's what." I even typed in the comments, "What?" Because I just got so discombobulated. I was like, "What? I won?" And then I didn't believe her. I thought she was.
Yeah,
that's terrific.
They had a big night. Greta won a bingo.
She deserves it.
Nazareth,
she's had a tough week.
On the wheel, on the wheel, Nazareth got picked. We let her play Plinko. And then she won the $50 cash prize in the Plinko game.
Salute.
And I had just raised it from 25 to 50. And here she comes. Put it in slot number
perfect timing.
Seven. I not pick 7.
Wow.
She won the scuttles.
Well, she got the scuttles.
Right, so
That's great.
Congratulations, man.
Great job. Very happy.
We also, we had a lot
I'm even. After bingo, I'm even.
You finally broke even. There you go.
Yeah, because nobody paid you back, right, for all the cards you bought for everybody else.
Well, I buy cards for the family, and it's because it's a family thing. So, listen,
it's fun.
So it's a night for us.
And you're welcome. Her daughter, Amanda, had graduated Wagner College.
That was awesome.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
What a great story.
We had a lot of shout outs last night.
Yeah,
very nice.
It was a very busy night on
Very nice.
And our friend Angelo, playing for upstate New York, won for the third week in a row. He won something. Check that out. Good
very
old Angelo.
nice.
Angelo's got a nice roll going.
Good for Angelo.
His wife got to play Plinko with us. We had a good time.
Very good.
So, Joe, bingo was fantastic.
I'm glad I asked. Thanks for teeing it up for me.
And we're not going to do it next week. We're taking next week off.
It's Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend.
And we're going to come back the following week.
Very good. Can't go anywhere, but it's Memorial Day weekend. But that's okay.
There's a lot of love here, Kathy.
You can't go small places.
Yeah, I think the beaches are going to be open, maybe.
You can't go in the water, though.
Beaches are going to be open.
Beach is open, but you can't go in the water.
You can't go in the water. Beach is open.
I wouldn't have gone in the water anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't know about down here.
It doesn't really.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the space open if you want to sit or just breathe some air.
Ocean air.
Yeah.
And now the air is so much cleaner because the pollution is gone.
Well, for now, until
traffic is building up again, though.
It is. The Saturday traffic really is. It's like Saturdays. It's like most people. A lot of people are still working, but they're working from home,
right?
And they can do whatever they want half the time.
Can.
All of a sudden, Saturday is like it's not the old Saturday.
The weekend drivers are out
closer.
again.
The weekend and the Sunday driver. The Sunday are the Saturday drivers too.
Yeah.
Because Sunday is usually a little bit quiet around here for the most part.
Except for the Sunday drivers, but whatever. You know.
So I was going to say, Christine and Liz were saying last night because they go to the shore.
Right.
They were so excited about that announcement because Christine says, "Well, good. I don't want anybody around me anyway."
Right. Exactly. Don't come here.
It's so full of love, Chrissy. There you go.
Did you happen to see the photo? I think it's from. I want to say Germany. There's a restaurant.
Yes, with the noodles.
I don't know if it's real or not, but it's hysterical. They gave hats with pool
noodles on them. The pool noodles.
To keep your distance, so
you can keep. Yes, it was on Facebook this morning. Yeah,
it looks real.
Yeah,
like I mean,
I think it's real. I think
if they staged it, kudos to them.
Yeah, if it's on Facebook, it must be real.
It must be real.
Yeah,
I mean, we're here on Facebook every day.
Well, this is real.
And we're real.
This is very real.
We keep it real.
And
we keep it real without the pool noodles.
Yeah, soon we might have to.
We might have to do that. Yeah. See how like a bunch of unicorns with the pool noodle.
Anyway.
So we've got it's Joe. You're here. It's Saturday afternoon. We're live from Rabs. Today, Gennaro's is back
yes.
open.
Good to see Marco and Tina back.
We had Marco on the show yesterday.
Pinch hit.
Marco talked about pizza.
Yep.
He even gave some great tips about making pizza
at home.
I
watched.
So go back to yesterday's show.
Very nice.
Where it was not the show about nothing.
Yep.
We did some Q&A.
Yep.
We talked about pizza. We're excited. So call and place your orders.
Yes, please do.
Marco and Tina are here.
Arturo's here.
Yep. And wait, Marco even admitted
I heard
Arturo makes a better pie.
Makes better abits. I heard better abits. He said,
so
all right.
Tuesday to Saturday, they're open. They're closed Sunday and Monday right now.
Yep.
11 a.m. to late night.
Okay.
So call and order your pizza. Yeah. I did make some Jell-O shots today. So Jell-O shots will be available for purchase as well.
Very nice.
So if you wanted Jell-O shots with your pizza, that's something that we could do.
Yeah.
Wait, quick. Another thought. Did you see? So we had the guys from Flagship on last week. We talked about.
I saw it's released.
They released it.
Oh, did they really?
So about 15 days late.
Really?
They originally planned for May 1st.
Right, I remember them saying that.
The hard seltzer that they collaborated with Ralph's Ices.
Yes.
In 1 hour.
Done.
Sold out.
Really? Well, I guess I can't get any now.
I saw it last night. I went on the website just to see. I saw it was sold out because I didn't believe people.
Wow.
I sent the guys a text. I said, holy.
Yep. Wow.
And they were excited. Some of the distributors, their distributor does have product.
Mm-hmm.
We do have an order coming, so I'm excited. We're going to get to taste
very good
and enjoy the hard seltzer this week.
Very nice.
So be on the lookout. You never know.
Awesome.
Yeah. Live on Rabs, we're going to do a taste test.
Yes.
I like it.
My plan is to get Naz on the floor.
Well, if you need me, if you need me to come over, like I said, I'm 5 minutes away. I'll try to run over.
So anyway, it's Saturday afternoon. It's beautiful out. Joe Cal's in the studio. And Nazareth, what does it mean? Saturday afternoon when Joe Cal is here. What is it? What's happening?
Is Pro Bowler Hall of Fame Saturday.
HOF.
And it started. We thought that this would just be Pro Bowler Saturday. This is like icing on the cake.
It's crazy. We're incredibly blessed.
Think about who's been here. We started the show with our friend Bill O'Neill, future Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Last week, the week before, star after star after star.
That's right.
And today,
think of the names: Norm Duke, Jason Belmonte,
Bob Learn, Amleto Monticelli,
Mike Albee,
the Ballards. I mean,
the Barnes.
The Barneses. It goes on and on. The Bones.
I mean, you
can't. It's mind-boggling.
It happens here, live on Rabs.
Because we keep it real.
And guess what? Nice little cherry on top today.
Today, my dear friend, Wendy Macpherson. Wendy Mac. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, hi, Naz.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm hungry. Listening to all that pie you guys are talking about.
We haven't even touched the surface of the food we talk about.
And we know you can't really get that good pizza at home. We know.
No, you can't. I laugh at all the best New York pie, this, that around town, and you guys talking about your pies just makes me hungry. It's almost lunchtime here.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Okay.
hey, listen, and if anything, your friend Mike Pellegrino is going to be on the show with us this week. And I'm sure in conversations with Mike, he's talked about pizza many times. And has he ever brought you pizza?
No, no, never. What a phenomenal guy Mike Pellegrino is. And
Yes, he is.
I don't call him Pellegrino, I call him Pecagrino. And he was my boss for a couple years when I worked at Sunset Lanes, Renatas. He was my boss. Phenomenal man. I used to call him all the time. And ask him how heavy his balls were and all sorts of good stuff. But that is, you guys will enjoy him. Well, you know you will enjoy him because he's your guy too.
He was our gift to you.
No, he was.
And believe me, that was a hard one to give up. I loved Michael. I mean, I worked with him for a very long time, and I probably have not met a kinder, funnier, and he's just such a good sport about everything.
He's a New Yorker.
I mean, he can give it as well as he can take it.
Yeah.
So he's just a great guy. And I wish you could have seen him in action when his kids were young, because the stories are. Hopefully, you'll watch when he's on, because we're going to revisit some of those stories. He's a funny guy.
Yes, he is. Yep.
And
I know he loves New York, and he always talks about going back and this and that, and he gets around all his buddies when they come out to Vegas. He starts in on the accent and talking like them and all that, and then he comes back to me and he'll be talking normal again, and he's a phenomenal man. I always rub his belly for good luck too.
Oh, this hero.
Oh, and she gives it to him all the time. I mean, he
deserves it. Good.
And I've seen
he gives it pretty good too. Yeah. He can give it.
Hey, Wendy, how are you holding up? How are things by you?
Frankie, we're good. We're good. City's good. Numbers are going down. How am I holding up? I'm ready to blow this joint like everybody else. There's really nowhere to blow to. So to go to a restaurant, you sit with 3 other people. I mean, well, why bother? My house has food in it, so on and so forth. Waiting patiently. I think the city is going to open up a bit more when we get into phase 2, which I might be interested in venturing out then a day here or there. But I've had enough. Very depressing. The minute I signed on to see D061, but I'm assuming that's 61 days so far, quarantine, correct, or pandemic.
Yeah.
Very depressing. Even more depressing would have been 0061, meaning that you were expecting thousands of days, but so on. But we're good here in Vegas. I'm ready to see the lights. I'm ready to see the Strip be bright again. I think the Strip's dull. I think that there's a ton of lights that have been turned down and off, and I think it's not nearly as bright and crisp and as beautiful as it was. So we're patiently waiting for the city to be bright again.
I think we all are. Even Manhattan, it's so odd.
It's eerie. It's just eerie. It's surreal. It's like the Twilight Zone. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
It is.
One day at a time.
Look at red there. I mean, you guys are bright there, but the rest of it's all dark at the other end. And you're ready for the lights. Missed hearing I haven't heard a pin fall. You guys probably turn the pin setters on every now and then just to hear the rake go and hear the pins, huh?
We do. And we have to, because we got to keep them running.
Yep.
So yesterday, right after the show, Michael decided to flip everything on and reset them. And the mechanic, as they're working, I think they're hoping for a 180 and out of range as they're resetting, so they have something to do and feel like they're at home. But
tired of doing maintenance.
but it is. It's an amazing sound. It's just not the same amazing sound as when people are throwing balls that way.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You miss it. You miss the pins, and you miss seeing people jump up and down and scream and laugh, and you miss laughter, and you miss enjoyment that bowling brings to people. You miss it.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
And it was funny. Probably 2 weeks before this happened, I was behind the desk with Frankie, and we were watching one of our larger mixed leagues bowl. And for some reason, it just struck me, just watching people interact with each other. Remember I said that to you? I said, this is their thing. This is, they look forward to being together. And it's people who come from so many different places. There's so many different people, and they all come here and they share this experience together. That for whatever reason, it just struck me on that day. And I grabbed Frankie and said, look at this. Look at all these people just enjoying their time together. And it's so nice to be able to provide that to people. And so now, a couple of weeks later, for it to just be gone is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It is tough.
Like someone hit the light switch.
Yeah.
Right. And boom. Yep. I know.
And then, as Facebook goes and social media, I mean, the majority of my friends, and I'm assuming majority, if not even more, of all of your friends on social network are all bowlers. It's all intertwined with bowling, and there is not a day goes by that everybody isn't wildly posting, can't wait to bowl, can't wait to bowl, can't wait to bowl. Everybody's waiting. St. George, Utah, which is, and I'm pointing that way because that's where it is. About 2 hours northeast of here, St. George, Utah. They opened their bowling center about a week and a half ago. Every day I'm seeing posts from my local friends. Everyone is going up there on a daily basis, 2-hour drive just to go bowling.
Wow. Listen, you know what? You got to get your fix. I feel like, and that might, if the states are working together, we might not see it as fast, but I think we might see that here too. But at this point, it is what it is, right? And we'll manage it. But we're excited to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel,
a little bit of light,
and we'll get there slowly but surely. But Wendy, and for us, it's the daily league business, the weekly, and for you, after not being at Sunset Station on a regular basis, right? It's at Sunset on a regular basis, you're out there running events where people are traveling from all over the country and in the world to compete. And so from that's a totally different experience when you get to see these people one time a year, a couple times a year for this activity. And I'm sure you could relate to exactly what Naz is saying.
Absolutely. We've been preparing. We had every August, this is our 13th annual. We started 13 years ago with 32. High Roller. I worked for High Roller since 92, and I've been working full-time with Brad Edelman and High Roller since 2013. So every day dealing with tournaments. The majority of all of our tournaments now are military-based, military background, military tournaments. January, we run 100% military and DOD under the Military Bowling Championships. In August, so again, that brings up to where we're coming. In August, we started 13 years ago with 32 teams, 4-person teams. This year, we were sold out at 1,200 teams, 3-week-long tournament, 21 days, 20 squads. My point is these are the people that go absolutely berserk. These are a lot of the team doubles and singles events nowadays are very much socially motivated and socially supported. It is purely a social, something social that they come out and enjoy their friends and family and see their comrades and see, I lost you guys.
No, we're here.
We're right here.
We're here.
Okay.
We're giving you
He's giving you the solo.
He gave you the full screenshot.
They come out and they meet everybody and see everybody that they served with and everybody that they have met, and teams have formed, and that's where we're at now with 1,200 teams in August, you know, and phones have been very busy. Is a tournament going to happen? Is a tournament going to happen? And absolutely, today the tournament's going to happen. But again, we don't know. We don't know whether the tournament, you know, what it's going to look like. With gaming, nothing's open. So it's the hardest part this last month, and sitting back and where do we stand in 2.5 months, and where do we, what's bowling going to be like in 2.5 months, and 3 months, and 4 months. We don't know. We don't know rules and regulations from, you know, the casinos. Casinos run the show along with gaming. Obviously, the governor, Sisolak, it has everything to say about it too, but it's going to be very interesting. We're waiting patiently and hoping that becomes part of phase 2 and get the casinos up and going, which, you know, unlike you, Mr. Frankie, you're a sole proprietor there. You know, we have no proprietorship. We are all casino owned bowling centers, so it's very different in that they have to fall and come under gaming guidelines.
Yeah, it's funny when if anybody's been to in Vegas and gone to one of the bowling, and they're not just bowling centers, and they're arenas to some extent, right? They're massive, huge concourses. You're getting food that you get in the casino. There are in the bar, you'll find slot machines. It's a totally different experience, and every single one of those centers has something different to offer. You know, you talk about the Red Rocks, which when Mike's on here, the experience that you get when you walk into that facility, you walk into the station's property, all of the station's properties, and they're magnificent centers, kept well, and fortunately because of the casino operations, and the customer service level also comes down to them. So it's just a different vibe, to Wendy's point.
Yep. So we're hoping and praying for, you know, we're proceeding and going as you know, forward as planned. Obviously, as any businesses, 100% will abide by all rules and regulations, and keep in mind all of the restrictions and guidelines set forth. You know, I'm just hoping for life to get back somewhat normal in everyday life.
Yeah, everybody. That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
I do. I got some bowling questions that our friends in the bowling community here in Brooklyn and Staten Island and the tri-state area, the bowling community wants to know. Wendy, when you were on tour, what was your favorite stop in which city, and why was that your favorite stop?
My favorite stop was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We used to bowl at Princess Lane.
Nice.
It also was one of the stops that we bowled in every fall. So really, the fall swing, which would encompass the Pittsburgh, the Delaware. I want to say we were even on Long Island for one event. Maybe in the late 90s, mid 90s, we had one event in Long Island, but it was always the fall swing. It was always the beautiful weather that the fall had to offer, the foliage, the whole aura of how it's my favorite time of the year, fall. And Pittsburgh and Princess Lane's always had an entrance. And especially as you go and walk into the entrance in the bar area right there, because it was all glass overlooked the entire parking lot, and you would see all of the trees fall, you know, the leaves fall. It was absolutely the most warming feeling that I love that tournament. Fans were phenomenal. We would pro-am entrance, maybe 1,000. I mean, think about this. We had 1,000 pro-am entrants. At a time when we would have 100 women bowlers, we would be bowling 3 pro-ams in a row. We'd start at 9 a.m. and we wouldn't get done until 6, 7 p.m. Bowling one pro-am after another, full house, 10 on a pair. The most unbelievable support, aura, electricity, all of that was phenomenal. Gives me goosebumps to think about. And the majority of those bowlers that bowled pro-ams with us, they stayed and supported us throughout the week.
Yep.
And then
That's
they
great.
supported us year after year and year after year. And it's just, it's just a feeling that you belong, and it's a feeling of family, and it's a hard thing to replace. When that was a phenomenal tournament.
That's a great answer, Wendy. Yeah, of course, it comes back to the East Coast, right? It's
it
all
always
about
does, Joe.
the East
I
Coast.
knew you were going to bring that into it. You know,
Great.
Delaware has a phenomenal tournament too. And again, it's going to come back to the East Coast.
Right.
Very wild, electric people, audience-wise. Good old high roller days, in 92, 93, sitting there, East Coast, West Coast, New Yorkers, Californias, hooting and hollering, yelling at each other, all that good stuff. It was very electrical.
That's nice. That's great. So on that note, speaking of the intensity, who was that one female bowler that you always went head-to-head with that always made Wendy have to put the pedal to the metal and ratchet that intensity up? Oof. Who was that one opponent that was always like kind of always there for you?
There was a couple of them.
Okay.
There was Leanne Barrett. There was Carolyn Dorn Ballard. You could never take those two out.
Sure.
They were made every show, so you knew you were bowling them sooner or later. They wanted to win as much as the rest of us wanted to win. But there was a number of them. You can't take out Alita Still. You can't take out Tish Johnson. You can't take out a few of these other ones that I never not put the pedal to the metal.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. That's how you have to live life. Put your pedal to the metal, then you have no regrets, right?
Right. Absolutely, Wendy. Yep. So now let's go back in time. We're going to go back in a time machine. If you could go back and bowl against one bowler that you never had the opportunity to, a male bowler or a female, or if you want to choose one of each, who would you have liked to have bowled head-to-head one time for all the wheat in one game? Who would it be? Someone who you never bowled.
Wow. There's a lot of phenomenal, you start the first one right off the get-go. And I bowled with Betty Morris. I bowled at the very beginning with them. I never bowled with Millie Ignacio. I never bowled with Dottie Fothergill. I never bowled, wow. This is some phenomenal people. I was fortunate in '86 when I went out. I caught a little bit of, Pat Costello and Patty Costello. Right. The two Costellos. I never bowled against Laverne Carter. I didn't get a chance to bowl too much against Kelly Kulick and Liz Johnson. Those guys were the late '90s, early 2000s. We only got a couple years of bowling with them, and at that point, there wasn't a whole lot of bowling on shows for them, with them. Mm-hmm. Wow. I respect them. They were the ones that the women of the past, who are the ones that paved the way, who created LPBT, who went to John Summer and sold them on needing women's professional bowling, and with all of them creating the LPBT with John Summer, those are all of our founders, and nothing but respect from me to them.
Awesome. That's awesome. The Trailblazers, always pay tribute to the Trailblazers.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yep. Nice comment from Angelo there. He said, our friend Angelo said he bowled in a pro-am with Wendy about 25 years ago. Had a great time. She was super nice. He thinks it was the U.S. Open. So you got a lot of kudos coming your way, Wendy. Deservedly so.
You know what? That's better than when we bowled in California, we did a Storm Spirit Tour. There was about 6 or 7 of us ladies on Storm, and we had a couple days off in between Roanoke Park and Steve Cook's Bowling Center, and then we went down into Dublin. We went to Early Anthony's Dublin Bowl. We went to the Hillman's Cloverleaf Family Bowl. We did about 4 or 5 days of clinics, and we called it the Storm Spirits Tour. And one young gentleman, young, maybe, I can't say, young, 12, 13, he goes, Wendy, I'm so happy to meet you. Oh, hi, who are you? I'm so-and-so. My grandma used to bowl with you out on tour, he said to me. I don't, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm old enough to be your grandma too, sweetie.
Yeah, he was showing the love, though. He was showing the love. That's great.
He was.
That's great.
Hey, so the PWBA gets resurrected, and with that, a year or two later, the Hall of Fame is resurrected as well. And 2019, Wendy finally gets her induction into the PWBA Hall of Fame. And so you were inducted in the USBC Hall of Fame 10 years, I believe it's 10 years prior, which I know is an awesome, I know for you, I'm sure that was awesome. However, what was that feeling getting the phone call when to the PWBA Hall of Fame?
Well, a couple of things. You know, there's 2 feelings. First off, on the aspect of PWBA, it's my feeling of awesome. It's now going to be up and going. This is a chance of a lifetime for 20, 30 years to come. All of these young ladies will have this to look forward to achieving. So I looked from it from a standpoint of myself, and then also for the whole industry. So there was 2 parts of emotions in that. But it was finally up and going, and I was excited to be part of this. I had a lot of mixed emotions on myself personally, in that I was happy and sad. I was happy because it was something that I had worked my whole career for, but I was also sad that it was going to be the last, and I say this very modestly because I'm fortunate to be in numerous halls of fame, but it was my last one that I'm ever going to have a chance to really tell the world how grateful I am of all my support that I received over 2.5 decades, 2 decades, support, family, industry support. It gave me time to reminisce about what was. And so I was sad and happy personally on my side because there was a lot of mixed emotions. So it was great for PWBA. I'm thoroughly, like 4 days ago, I believe the induction was supposed to have happened this year with here in Vegas. And I knew exactly, I'd already bought my dress for it to go be part of it. And I might have jinxed everybody. So I was happy for the future, for this year, for next year's inductees, for the years after. Personally, I was happy and sad because it's sad only simply from reminiscing that this was the way it used to be. It's no longer that way. I loved it. I missed the competition part. That was the hardest thing to take, is realizing it's over on that side of it, type of thing.
Right. Bittersweet at the same time, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what
exactly
you're
right.
Yeah.
Totally. I had a lot of emotions. I cried, and there was kind of happiness and sadness, but it was fun. I told Carol Giannotti she's was supposed to be inducted this year, which I'm assuming is going to be happening next year. But I told her, I go, you better make your speech good. I said, because the last time you're going to have the opportunity to really tell everybody what you want to say. And, you know, it was fun to really, really sit down and think about it. And still after it was done, I know I missed a few people, you know, that I still would have added to the speech. But yeah, it was a great career. I'm so happy it's back. I look forward to going every year to see the new inductees.
That's great.
Yeah, and the cool part about that, and the USBC convention is the same thing with the USBC Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
To see everybody get, and I thoroughly enjoy those events. And sadly, I was supposed to be at the induction last year, and something came up, and I couldn't get there. And I was looking forward to going to this year's event. And it's awesome to see everybody come together. Yep. This is, you know, we're in a class of our own. These are your peers. Yeah. And so when you get to see that from the outside,
you see the history of the sport pretty much.
It right really there is. It's awesome. It really is awesome. And to be a part of that, Wendy, it's great. And so congratulations to you, and well deserved.
I wish my camera could come over here, because there it is, PWBA Hall of Fame Superior Performance, my drawing. I wish I could turn it to see, because I have the USBC and then the PWBA. It represents life and a lot of hard work and a lot of phenomenal honors, and I'm proud of it, and memories, great memories.
So for the young ladies that are watching, and the young fellas, as Joe would say,
young fella,
for the young ladies watching, from your experience, what's the best piece of advice? Because there's a lot of, we talk about this all the time, aspirational value in the comeback of the PWBA tour and the PBA tour. But for these ladies the young ladies that didn't have that now have this, and this next generation that's coming forward, you lived it, you breathed it. What's the best piece of advice? It's when a kid says to you, "Hey, I want to be Wendy Macpherson."
Go and learn, bowl, practice. Get a coach, get a reputable coach. You know, don't be, you know, bowling has changed a lot over the years, and don't be, don't shut out ideas. Try. If it gets you out of a block even instead of being 100 under, then you can win it tomorrow, type of thing. You know, a ball choice it's become quite an art of ball motion, ball choices, making sure you match up, and that has become more of the art. So the physical, yes, without a doubt, but I would think if you're going to compete on tour, your physical game is going to be pretty good anyways. But making sure that you really understand ball motion, surfaces, idea of how to get your ball to go through the pins the right way. So never stop learning. So the whole point of that is a teacher, a reputable teacher that can really get you on the right track. And I would encourage everybody, and again, a lot more colleges, universities offer women, you know, young ladies have a bit more opportunities for some scholarships, but that is huge. The stars nowadays, the majority of them are all coming from the collegiate programs. So I would encourage you, not only grade-wise, academically, but I would encourage each and every one of them to get to a point where they get on and get off to a university or college on and kill two birds with one stone. You get a bowl and learn. I mean, what's better than that in life?
Yep.
Preach.
There it is.
Yep.
We got it.
That's it. Yep.
Got it.
Yep. The pearls are
it's endless. You know, when I graduated in '86. I want to say one college, my two colleges might have had a bowling team. You know, not even to where they could compete because there wasn't enough in their division, so on and so forth. It was never really an option. Scholarships didn't exist for me. It was never an option as far as going and searching out universities and colleges. I think it absolutely has to be 100% of an option. I don't think there's any other way to do it. you're a bowler, let your bowling get you a couple bucks to go back to school. You need to go to school. And then you'll grow as a person, as a bowler. I definitely missed out on that. I would love to be an 18-year-old and head off to college now.
Sure.
Not that I would change my career, but I think that that's a big part of life that I missed out on because it just simply didn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And while you were out there, who was that one lady that you looked up to, that you relied on for advice and to help you along as you were bowling? I mean, you don't get 20 titles in a short period of time, all on your own, right? There's always at least one person that you had to rely on, and I'm sure there were more. But who was that? Who was that for you?
I had a great friend out on tour, Carol Giannotti. We roomed our entire career together. Carol and I talked bowling, but we didn't obsess with bowling. We spoke when it needed to be spoken about. We helped each other, but I would help her to win. But I competed against her as much as she competed against me, and nothing personal whatsoever. I wanted her to win as much as I wanted to win. If I couldn't win, I wanted her to win. I think it's so important on how you choose and who you choose to hang out with out on tour, whether there's ulterior motives and jealousy on friends and roommates. You don't need any of that. You need support. You need to help. Don't forget, we left when we went out on tour for 9 weeks. My car would leave, I don't know, March 1st or whatever, and I wouldn't come back until the summertime, until June. March, April, May, I'd be out on the road, clocking in 25, 30, 35,000 miles, stop to stop to stop. So this person I lived with, they drove my vehicle. We drove our vehicle. We passed. We drove 1,000 miles overnight to get to the next stop. We helped each other with laundry. Point is they were our second family, and I'm my buddy. And Carol was very much that person. Don't forget too, and I think a lot of players sometimes forget this, that the players' reps. That we called them player reps. Sean Morris, Chris Schlemmer was out on tour. Tony Hall. Those were our friends, and those were the ones we asked a lot about. Bowling manufacturers, they didn't, not like today, where you have 3-4 reps from each company go to tournament. We would be lucky to see a rep once in those 9 weeks, twice in those 9 weeks. It would be a real treat to get some help from a bowling company, because that's just the way it was structured then. So a lot of the questions, feedbacks, ideas, drillings happened within your inner circle, which was always your roommate or your couple friends that you hung out with, and or the players' reps. So they played a big part in success. Nobody does it on their own. Everybody has contributed to whether it be the ball manufacturers or player services, so on and so forth. Everybody plays a role, whether or not other players want to admit it.
You're right.
That's true. That's a big, getting someone to admit that. That's very true.
So back in the day, in the 80s, I bowled maybe 3 swings. I did the fall swing twice, I think, and I might have done the spring once. And at the time, I was wearing a Cobra, and I remember we were having a conversation with some girls, and you gave me my first mongoose. And I brought it home, and I was like, oh, but you have to, I was so, first of all, I was thrilled that you gave it to me. And, but it really, really helps my game. And to your point, there was much more, I believe that to compare it to what it was then to now is totally different. I mean, when we bowled, it was like truly a sisterhood. Now, being a sisterhood, there were sisters that didn't get along with each other, and that was fine.
How could that be?
And that was good. But you really relied on each other more. And like you said, there were very few reps out there. And the reps that were there were I felt like they were kind of tied to one or two players. Yeah,
don't forget, Nazareth, don't forget either. The companies would only have one or two players on staff.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
Right.
387 staff members. It wasn't 46, here or there. It was only 1, 2, 3 staff members. I remember having a book with carbon copies in it that I would hand out a bowling ball with that one slip. I was allowed 5 of those slips a week to give out. It was very limited, and it was staff was a little bit different structured.
Yeah, it was definitely a different world. And listen, I think what's going on now is good. It's much more technical. It's much more, and you have to be more on. I feel you have to really be much more knowledgeable, like you said, about ball motion, about what your equipment does, watching your ball go through the pins. 100% agree. But it's a different game now. It's much more technical.
No, and it's just as great. It's bowling, which makes it great. But it's a mindset that's very different now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway.
So Wendy, not including your first career win, what was your biggest win? Your most memorable? I know you have many wins, but what would you say was your most memorable win out on tour?
Not including my first win.
Yes, outside of your first win, because I know that's always a special one, right? So not including your first win. But it always is a special one. But it also is the one that sets the tone for your career, because it teaches you can win, and it teaches you how to win. Right.
So the minute you win something, shooting your first 300, 800, then they're easier after that. So you get over the hump. I was fortunate the very first tournament I bowled, I won the U.S. Open in 1986. When I was in high school. So right off the bat, I won, and I wanted to win everything at that point. So it totally set the tone. One of the other biggest ones I ever won was 2000, the Samstown Invitational. It because it solidified and it helped me achieve Bowler of the Decade in the 90s. It also was a Bowler of the Year title. And actually, 99.
That's okay.
99. Because it was the last tournament of the decade of 1999. And not only was it a major, but it was it helped me win Bowler of the Year, Player of the Year that year, and it also helped me win the Bowler of the Decade from Bowler's Journal that year.
Wow!
So that was a big win in my book. But it's hard to say. Your first one's always just special, but I kind of, that first one teaches you how to bowl. And you could go 10 years and never win a title because you don't know how to win yet. And it's a hard thing to learn. And I was fortunate that I got it such early on in my career.
That's great.
What year was that?
1986. You weren't born yet, Frankie.
I was born. That was the year I was born. That was.
I got married in 86. That's the year that I got married. He wasn't born yet. So
I had to. Hey, and I love Wendy dearly. She's, if you want real,
absolutely
she's real. Wendy tells it as it is. You want to know something, Wendy's and very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
I have my favorite. I have one favorite Wendy moment, and I cannot share it here, but I will tell you, it was a
mouthful of truth.
I sat next to her, and I just said, "I love you," and she knows exactly what I'm talking about. But you know what? It was that moment on that there a relationship where you could talk to somebody and know that, hey, to your point, a mouthful of truth. You want an opinion, man. You want what's real. I mean, we keep it real here. Wendy keeps it real. Right. And you know what? That moment taught me a lot about not only the relationship that you and I have had over the years, but also has taught me a lot as well. So we've talked about offline. I can't say this, give the story, but she knows, and I give a lot of credit to Wendy, and having moments like that help you shape yourself, and of course, your mindset.
It teaches you to not. I think it teaches you to not be afraid of the truth, because a lot of times the truth, when you speak it, there are some people that are not going to want to hear it, and some people are not going to like it.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be said.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. And in this specific situation, that is so dead true.
Well, like Colonel Nathan, you can't handle the truth. Right? So
you know, Frankie, I've often wished that I was back on the board of directors doing it all now, because when I served on the board of directors, USCC board of directors, it was hard because I was bowling still. And unfortunately, being under the athlete's position, I missed a lot of meetings. There was a lot of issues on emails, and I was over in Japan, and there was a lot going on. Life is very different now, where it's obtainable to be part of every conference call, and I think it would have been a lot different experience on my part to be part of each and every meeting. I loved it. I loved serving on the board of directors, because that's what this Frankie is talking about here, the board of directors.
I wasn't going to give it away.
And I loved it. I just wish that I hadn't missed as much as I did being an athlete. And again, that still happens today. You know, the athletes that serve on the board of directors, they're still actively bowling, and they miss a lot of things that, unfortunately, due to tournaments, that they can't attend. But it's the other side of bowling, and I really, really enjoyed it.
And there's always, that seat should always be open for you when you're ready, because they need you in that room. I've served my time, but you still have time that you can give, and you should find your way back to sit in that room for the rest of that time.
Just saying. 9 years there. Good for you.
Yeah, I did my sentence, as I call
it. His penance. He did his penance. Yep.
Now, Frankie, if you're talking about me and my career, and you go back to your career, you would do those 9 years again.
I would. I say, and I'm still involved. They won't. Our good friend Chadwick and our others on the board have kept keeping me close, so I am still involved a little bit. I mean, I miss a lot of in volunteerism. You know, we do a lot. We're involved in so many different things. Right. And I will tell you, in the beginning, my staff kept saying, "When are you going away again?" And I'm not. Not traveling as much. Yeah. I enjoyed that time, and I would, to your point, I would do it again. And I don't think I'd do it differently, but there's a time, and so you give your time. If I haven't been able to give what I can give in 9 years, well, then what could another 9 years do? How much more time and effort could I actually give? And that was, Wendy had that same message through her time that she served. She's like, hey, listen, I feel like I've served a purpose, but I know she still has a purpose that she can serve. Just saying. I remind her that all the time.
Well, totally different now, being home and being able to working at home now and working in Vegas, and it's totally different now. Maybe we'll see in the future. I don't know. But because you could put 100%, not that I didn't put 100% into it, but I couldn't time-wise do 100% for being out bowling. So.
Well, yeah, and you talked a little bit about before with working with Brad and the high rollers and the events. You put a lot of time in. I mean, you are the face. Essentially, you're the face of those events these days, and so you're running them and doing that, and that's a totally different experience. So, from your perspective as a bowler, and I think we lose sight of this. Sometimes you don't want bowlers running events, right? And in some cases, you really need bowlers to run. Right, you need their
involvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
their input. Yeah.
And from your perspective, how has that been for you? It's not an easy thing to do, but to sit back and now say, okay, we're going to do X, Y, and Z as a bowler. You get to put yourself in their shoes. How has that whole experience been for you? Because you talk highly.
I love it. I love it, only because sometimes I'm a bowler, sometimes I'm not. Half the customers, half the bowlers at Bowl Art Tournament know I'm a bowler. The other half know me as Wendy. So I love both aspects. I can't tell you how many lessons I've given over the phone. You know, they'll call up, hey, Wendy, it's so-and-so, help me. Well, what's your ball doing here? And have you tried this? And have you, I'm a half an hour into it, and I'm giving a bowling lesson over the phone. Point being is, I love my job. I love people. A lot of what I do is how I want to be treated at a tournament. I want someone to remember my name. I want somebody to say hi. I want someone to wish me best of luck bowling. I like it when they know who you are. So I've always tried to make sure that I remember everybody's names. And 20 years still down the road, I can remember their names. And when you remember someone's name, the most of the time they're because they're family, not because they're jerky or something like that, but because they're family. And these people are my friends. And there has been so many phone calls during this time away from work, at home, everyone at home. We're just checking in. How are you? How's Brad? How's everybody? And I've tried to do that back to people where I want to know how everybody's doing. I've missed you guys. I miss talking to you. I've missed them. So the bowling part of it, I kind of play two roles, but I like both. I don't need everyone to know that I'm a bowler. I need them to know I'm Wendy, and I'll help them out with anything and everything they need. And that's fine by me. If you want to talk bowling, that's fine by me also. So I have the best of both worlds. I love it. Love my job.
That's great.
We're in the relationship business. That's really what this is. And we're so lucky. I say this a lot, and we say it all the time. Whereas the bowling community is so tight knit within the community, and it's awesome.
Definitely.
What do your Japanese friends call you, Wendy?
Wendy-san.
Wendy-san. Oh, Wendy-san. And spending time in Japan, and you did that for a long time, right? So that experience alone, what did that do for Wendy?
Frankly, we don't have enough hours in the day and the year to talk about what it did to me. I experienced what probably nobody ever has had a chance to experience, to be embraced by these, there was 3 or 4 families in Japan that embraced me, that took care of me when I went over there, that helped me with translating and drove me 4 hours to tournaments and set up my hotels and let me live at their house. And 2 weeks off, we'd have a tournament, 2 weeks off, another tournament. I learned customs and the ways and their families, and I have a hard time not getting chill bumps, goosebumps. It just gives me the chills to realize my love for my Japanese family and friends. And I was brought over there and taken care of by the Iguchi family, proprietor up in Shizuoka, the Suzuka Bowl, and the Zaitsu family in Tokyo took care of me. Alice, mother of Fuchi, Naples, she was my interpreter. Sachiko Ishikawa Pro was my interpreter. I couldn't have done it without him. And from living every day, I learned customs of how to set a table, how to cook traditional meals. I was part of a death and funeral at one of our friends', understanding the religious part of it, understanding weddings. So it wasn't just I went over there to bowl the JPBA tour. I went over there and lived their life.
Yeah.
It's indescribable, and it was absolutely the most unbelievable experience I've ever had in my life. I sent a little note on Facebook to Yumi Sugimoto. I sent it. That's the Gucci family that I used to live with. Sent her a little note. Happy Mother's Day, Yumi-san and Kitsumi-san. That's her mom. Next thing you know, my phone's ringing. I'm FaceTiming with them in Mishima. I cried. We were crying. They looked fabulous. My Japanese is one word, 2 words. Their English is 1 word, 2 words. But I look forward to in the coming years getting back with them. They're my heart and soul. Japan is my family. I call them my family. That's fortunate.
That's really cool.
I love hearing this, and Wendy's
really
got
cool.
some great stories that she shared over the years.
Yep.
And all of the bowlers that have made their way and have
seem to all say the same
thing.
But it's also culture. It's hard to explain, and when you get to meet the proprietors from Japan and people that, I mean, I've had it's an opportunity. I've never been there, but I've had the opportunity to meet them, and I felt like I was in their home just having conversations.
Right.
And it's just culture, and to be embraced and brought into their home.
Yeah.
If Wendy, if you went there tomorrow, oh my God, right? You'd have this where you'd be and what you'd be doing, two different things. And of course, they hold their athletes on this high pedestal.
High esteem. Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. And then when we go there, it's the same thing. So our athletes get treated as their own, which is awesome.
Yeah, you can see it.
And I always tried to, I remember over the years with PWBA and the bowlers that came, I always would go to the, the tournament directors. This was pre-Tennille. This was in the 2000s. We need to make sure that we treat them to this dinner or that dinner as a PWBA. Not necessarily treat, but take care of them, because that's how they take care of us. And it was understand that it didn't take me a while to understand it. I understood the respect right off the get-go, and I always wanted them to make sure that they understood I respected them as much. So I always emphasized the need to make sure that they were all taken care of, whether they came and bowled the Queens, whether they came and bowled the PWBA Tour. What do you need? I drove them everywhere, anywhere, because that's how they treated me.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Wendy, we love you. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Wendy,
joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. I could go on. You guys are who? I'm going to just sit in and listen all about the good food and the pies.
It always
and be sure to pop on when Pellegrino was here.
I'll let you know.
What day is he going to be? Do you know yet?
I'm still waiting to hear back from him, but it's going to be this week, I believe.
Yeah, he's going back to work, so he's all over.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yes,
it's coming in the next week and a half, I suspect.
Awesome,
nice,
Wendy. We really appreciate.
You guys are wonderful. Mad show, Mr. Frankie, as always. Absolute pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Love you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Stay healthy and safe.
You take care.
We'll talk to you soon.
Be healthy. Thank you, guys.
Bye, Wendy.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Wow, she was really nice.
She's awesome. And she could go on for days. Hey, and so could we. So speaking of Japan, and it just happens to be right timing.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. We have a special
delivery.
That decided to grace us with his presence.
There he is.
After we called him out on the show. So he was home.
Yeah.
Did you order pizza?
Yes.
Oh, so he was ordering pizza.
See, Kenny?
And look, he delivered.
As Ralph.
Oh, wait. Look. It's a salute to Kenny.
Salute to Kenny. There's a 10-pin somewhere back there.
Wow. Check this out.
I have more in the car, so I can bring it. I just couldn't carry that many.
I got to tell you, we're about halfway done with the bottle we opened up last night.
Live delivery from Kenny Soto.
Yep.
Now, the only thing that can happen better than this is if he resets the lane.
Yes.
I think that's Michael's plan. Michael wanted to give everybody a little taste.
There it is.
There we go.
What home is.
Nice. See, this is what we miss.
Wendy's still there. Wendy, listen to this. It's the pins resetting in the background.
This is what we miss.
Oh, but they didn't actually.
And we got sake.
And
you got sake.
This is one of my favorites.
It's very good. Yeah, we had it nice and chilled last night. Very good to go with the sushi.
Yeah,
it was excellent.
Taking this
Yeah, take it. Take it.
I mean, Kevin wants us dropped off at the door on the way home. Don't forget his teammate.
Okay, we'll take care of that.
That's
We'll take care of that.
Kevin, he was your teammate for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Right?
3 weeks, yeah.
The final third of the scratch.
There we go.
There it is.
300. The whole house. Wait.
The whole house.
2 300s in a row.
Yeah.
And before we know it, a 900 series.
Yeah. Wait, if you really listen, I think I hear somebody complaining about getting wrapped right now. Somebody just got wrapped. I don't know. Can't imagine that. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing well.
You good?
As well as can be in this situation.
You good?
Kenny got the salute.
Yeah.
Nobody got that.
That was unplanned.
Yeah.
And I just saw it. The calling out
kill him
helps.
for a second, please.
You've heard of the 21 gun salute? That was the 480 pin salute for Kenny. Yep.
Well, actually, Joe.
Yes.
There are 21 pins in every machine.
Is that right?
So not just saying that was a 480
well,
salute.
it's 10 on the deck, though, right?
There were other pins
they're
in there that
recycling.
were moving, that were
Recycling,
recycling.
okay.
So
All
that was a
right.
true salute.
Yeah, really. I was never good at math, so I'm not even going to try to figure that one out with 21. But
Kenny,
yeah.
I mean, I can't believe this. We called you out and you decided
He
to
delivered for Naz
Absolutely.
and Frankie. That's awesome.
I mean,
Yep.
that's just awesome.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Ken.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hope
So
you guys enjoy it.
It's
I'm
very
gonna have
sweet.
sake and sushi tonight because that is my plan. And
Oh,
you're
it's
gonna
really
have sake
good.
and pizza tonight.
Chill
Yes.
that baby up.
Sake
Put it in the
pizza.
freezer. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Well,
Yep.
also now that Gennaro's is open,
Our meal
definitely.
plan is now changed. I'm gonna have to have sushi.
Very good.
Joanne, thank you for letting us have some of your sake stock.
Thank you.
She's outside.
Very
She's
nice.
outside.
Yeah, she's outside.
You
Thank
picking
you.
up, Ken?
Yeah,
You picking up?
I might as well kill two.
I'm good.
birds
You know
with
what?
one stone.
I'm going to order too. Hey, Marco, can I get one order of fries to go for when I leave? An order of fries, please. Thanks, brother. Thank you. See, we're ordering right on the air
I'll
here.
give you guys some peace.
There you go.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Kenny.
I love
Kenny.
you guys.
Kenny.
And the salad was
Best.
amazing. That was
Well,
great. You too. Be good.
Listen.
Thank you, everyone.
I got to see Mr. Gorgeous 2 days in a row. Once on FaceTime last night, and once today live and in person. Hello? Well, hello, Mr.
Thank you,
Gorgeous.
Kenny.
Michelle Fury just
Yeah, we're
said,
good.
hello,
We're-
Mr.
we're
Gorgeous.
You're the best. Yeah.
Oh, don't
You're
worry
right,
about
too
it.
much.
Thanks, Kenny. Thank you, bud. Thanks, bud.
And yeah, thanks, Ronnie.
Thanks, Ronnie.
You know what? Kenny is becoming a regular on the show.
Yeah, he is.
Before you know it, he's going to have more appearances than others.
Yep, he's masking up right now to go
He's been-
back out into the
We
great
had him on
outdoors.
camera.
Yeah.
He's been in the studio now.
Yeah,
Which is very tight.
Not
Tight
very
security
distant
here.
Yeah.
at the moment. But
not
we're
just
okay.
anybody can get in.
No,
We know
this
people are
is
trying.
tight quarters, this bowling center. Although yesterday, Joe.
Oh, I saw when I
Uh,
watched the show last night about 6
oh.
o'clock. I was like, oh my
So
God, it's a party.
when I came in, I went around the corner and I took a picture of all the cars in the parking lot. There had to be maybe 6 cars in the parking lot, and I immediately started to hyperventilate.
There was a
She
lot of
did.
people
She
here.
So
really
I
did
sent
hyperventilate.
him a picture, and I was like, "What goes on in there?"
Yeah.
Because I might be going home.
Yeah, that was
But
a
there was
little.
a lot of people around.
And at first, I had told her that I knew Fran and Vicky were here.
Yep.
Vicky was here to get some work done, and then I completely forgot that the Rorks were stopping by to pick up.
1,008 pins, Kevin. Thanks, Kev.
Thanks for the math.
Thank
Kev.
you.
I completely forgot that the Rorks were stopping by
Right.
to pick up Harry.
Yep.
And I'm getting the photos.
I
ready.
saw that on Facebook. It was
So
really cool.
I'm bringing in the
Yep.
photos. I want to show you.
Socially distancing. I
Really
like that.
cool.
So
Yep.
yeah, I'm going to show. I have 2 quick photos. I'm going to
Harry
share.
don't have on his mask. He's got to have to be taking a test on that. Come on, Harry, get with the
The whole
program.
head is a mess.
That's true. That's
So
true. Yep.
I have to say, Terry Hart, coach of the Notre Dame girls, and Stephanie and Kevin, whose daughter Nicole now bowls on the team, which he talked a little bit about that experience,
Uh-huh.
and they decided to surprise their seniors yesterday
Which
with a
is very,
special
very
gift.
That's really cool.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
and so Harry went out to
Oh.
surprise the ladies.
Oh, with the pin too.
So they had these special
Very
pins
nice.
made up
Very
and
nice.
made special deliveries. So this is where Harry was yesterday.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
flowers and a bowling pin?
Rob Hart's mom? That Terry.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
Rob
that's
Hart's
Harry.
mom. Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay, that's Terry. Oh, okay.
So Harry went out and made some more special deliveries, and so thank you to Harry and congratulations, ladies. I know we talk about this a lot, and the seniors certainly are getting their due in a different way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so we salute you all and congratulations.
Terrific.
Dennis and Olivia, also the assistant coach, who Terry would say is Dennis is the real coach.
Yes.
We say that too.
Right.
Dennis and Olivia made trips. Kathy got to see them on their deliveries yesterday. So congratulations, girls.
Very
You had a
nice.
great run, 4 years bowling. Some
Yeah,
of you
that's-
bowled 4 years. I don't
that's
believe
great.
all of them did.
No.
But they had a great run, a great season, and congratulations, 2020 graduates. And tonight,
Yes.
Joe,
Yeah, tell us about what's going
so
on.
what's
tonight,
happening on
Joe.
ABC tonight?
Well, you don't want to know about a little bit of the grief I had to deal with this
No.
week with that show,
We
but
just want
Just tell
to.
us about
tonight-
the show.
Graduate Together is on I hope you're going to watch, even though it's on all the major networks. I know all my friends out there are going to watch ABC only, right? Leave Fox and CBS and NBC for those other folks. Watch ABC, but it's going to be on all the major networks tonight from 8 to 9. And it's going to be all of the 2020 graduates graduate together across the country. I think it's a nice touch. It's a very nice. Guests there's going to be some special guests. I don't want to give it away, but yeah, there's going to be. Make sure you tune in, and then after that, I'm going to do a shameless plug.
Dad,
if you keep it on ABC, you get to see Kobe Bryant, rest his soul. His last game is going to air again tonight from 9 to 11. Wow. They're going to edit it down a bit, but we're airing Kobe Bryant's last game tonight after the Graduate Together show. So, and then tomorrow night, another plug. Tomorrow night,
big show tomorrow
American
night.
Idol without Gal.
So wait,
Island Gal.
is tomorrow the finale?
Tomorrow's the finale.
How crazy! So we went from 20 to 11 to 7 to a champion.
Again, it's all unprecedented with the pandemic and all that.
Is there voting tomorrow?
I believe. You know what? The list. All I know is, other than the agita that I had up to here with that show this week too, with the changes in their rehearsals and what they're going to do. But the last 2 acts are live. That I do know. So yeah, tune in tomorrow night, and then when that goes off at 10 o'clock, there's going to be a Taylor Swift show on from 10. That's, I believe that that might have aired already on another network or whatever, but we're going to have that on after that. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, and who isn't, tune in tomorrow night after Idol, and you can watch that.
There's a lot going on.
Listen, I got to see her up close and personal at the GMA concert last year at Central Park, and I got to say, quite a looker, quite a young gal. But then I had to say to myself, she's young enough to be my daughter, so slow your roll there. Slow your roll.
You know, and so watch American Idol. It's 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Right?
Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, American Idol.
7 Central for those
for Julia.
Vote for Julia,
our hometown Island girl, number 17 in the voting line. So we don't know what it's going to look like, but
it's going to be different.
When watching I guess it was last Monday night, and Brian Seacrest out says we're going to crown a champion next weekend, and I just. We were puzzled because it was just it's not typical. And then we're doing the timeline of what the season would end, but the season really wouldn't end just yet. It's still early.
Yeah, it is.
But they really couldn't do the studio time and get everybody out.
No,
and they've done a good job.
Yeah, they did the best that they could. I mean, they definitely drove us nuts this week with production stuff, but that's what they're supposed to do.
I can imagine it's been a challenge, not just for them, but for the contestants to not really compete in that, in front of a live audience and really kind of get the feedback, because I feel like performers kind of feed off that.
Absolutely.
So it's got to be a little different, like some of them singing on their back deck or in a garage or
and it looks like they pushed them to do different things. Like Julia was in the house and she was outside. And of course Mother's Day they had their moms. Which added a whole nother which is something they've done before, but it adds another element. I have one little peeve.
Get it out, Frank.
It's okay. Well, for production. Now you're in production.
But I'm in the network. But still.
And this is nothing. No, that's not about Julia. Okay. And I love Julia. She's awesome. This is not her. Her family is great. But some people, you're going to be on network TV, national TV.
Oh yeah.
And you're dressed like a slob.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry. A couple of those moms and even some of the contestants, I thought they could have. You're competing. Your child, and you're in a t-shirt, and come on.
What my saying is, don't you have mirrors in your house?
I mean,
they didn't
look ugly. They were, they just would not dressed appropriate.
You can't be all Shanghai when
you're home. But you don't have to be dolled up, but you should still be presentable.
You gotta look proper. They were given direction.
They were not given direction to look like a slob.
They didn't look like a slob. Right. Maybe they were given direction to look, we're going to make this like a homey
thing, right? You're home and.
I got that.
Yeah.
But to some extent, you could still.
Okay.
Don't wear your muumuu.
You know what? I think maybe what you're trying to say, Frank, is they could have put their nice sweats on instead of their raggy sweats that they work in the garden with, right?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. So you got to spruce it up a little bit. You're on television, But I will say this: Julia, and I'm sure all the others too, had production trucks outside their homes.
Yes.
So that's a little,
they took the money that and we talked about this too. production value.
Yo.
It probably cost. It may have cost them more to do this.
To do it this way.
Because they had a sense. And I
Definitely.
think it was in Julia's video, a couple of them, but specifically Julia's, where she was in whatever room she was in, a small room, and the poor kid is sitting in the corner, and he's like this.
Yeah, right.
And you see him in one, and they're doing the best they can.
Right.
And you could tell that what the equipment they have is not stuff they have at home.
Right.
You know, they have keyboards and so, but it wasn't. But they were using, in some cases, they were using phones for filming.
Yes, they were.
These phones
Actually,
have
they were
great
using
cameras.
the ring light.
Yeah.
The ring light with the phone.
Yeah.
I think that's what they said. The first thing that they sent.
Yes.
And the phone, the video quality is
No,
great.
the quality's great
But
on
the
an
production
iPhone.
to get the signal to make sure it stays. Kudos to ABC and the American Idol team. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Hey, Wendy, really thank you again for tuning in. She loved it.
Thank you,
As everybody
Wendy.
always tells us, they always say they love being on. They had fun.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't know what that means.
No, they're having fun.
But Wendy, we love you too.
They're having fun.
We're going to make sure I let Wendy know when her buddy Mike's going to be on.
Yes.
Because I hope she at least texts me some questions to ask him.
Yeah.
And last night I wished we also congratulated Amanda today, and Megan Guzman's birthday is today. Happy
very
birthday,
nice.
Amanda!
Happy birthday.
Megan!
Happy birthday, Megan!
She got a shout out on bingo last night.
Oh,
A
very
shout out
nice.
today.
She's a
Happy birthday,
superstar.
Megan!
Very nice.
We miss you.
Very nice.
And they were keeping it. Oh, Kevin just threw it at us. American Idol was keeping.
They were keeping it real. Yes, they were keeping it real.
There's so much real you can keep. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. Not buying it.
Yeah, they're keeping it real, Kev. You're
don't-
right.
All right, okay. I'm going to go back and watch it.
You wouldn't go
See
on.
what
You
you're
wouldn't
being
go on.
on.
Yeah,
You wouldn't put yourself on stage. I just,
Yeah.
if that was your child, I just no.
Well, listen. I mean, look at the way some
But
of
it's
our
not me. It's not people.
It's
are
okay. It's okay.
different.
It's okay. It's
look
okay.
at the way some of our bowling colleagues come here on a Monday night.
Oh,
I'm like,
there it is.
did you pass a mirror in your house before you
and
left?
then they go on your
Come
show.
Yeah, well, that's
Joe.
I know. I mean, if you're gonna come on live at the Draft League with Joe and Joe, I mean, at least put on a college shirt or something.
You know what? We're going to require ties in the studio.
Well, we don't want to go that far, but although Nez watching on SNY 1969 World Series, because
Isn't
I'm a
that
baseball
great?
fan.
How the people were dressed in
Yeah,
this.
I was just gonna say the men with the fedoras
Yep.
and the
Yep.
ties
I
and
watched
the
that
women
this
with the
week.
dresses
I
and
watched that this week
and
also.
I mean phenomenal and daytime World Series games.
And the sign guy, the famous sign
Yes,
guy.
yes,
It's
Yep.
awesome. I love watching those old games. I really, and because I wasn't there, so I have an appreciation for the sport, baseball, and of course our team.
Yep.
But all sports had that. I'm going to pull up I have some old photos, bowling photos.
Cool.
And you think about full-length dresses.
Andy Varapapa,
suits.
all with a tie on.
Yeah. I mean, that was also a sign of the time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
1986 was
more
coming out of
formal.
that.
No, 1969.
Oh, 69.
We're
69.
talking 1969.
But then as you got past,
Yeah,
just coming out of that,
absolutely.
going into the 70s,
Yeah.
started to lax and
Yeah,
go.
and
And change.
definitely got
So that was kind of the end,
Yes.
the beginning of the end
Casual,
of that,
yes.
of that era,
Definitely.
where it was before that even.
You know what,
even more.
too? That was during the day.
Yes, daytime baseball.
And it was during the week.
Weekday
So they
daytime.
might have gotten some people
From
coming
work.
from
Oh,
work.
yeah, sure, yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, it was I
yeah,
distinctly remember those games.
I do
like
too.
it was
running home from school
like
to
it was
watch.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the class of people
Yeah.
being able to afford.
Yes.
That was a specific to buy those seats. Really, and today it's expensive, and I'm not downplaying it. It is expensive,
Right.
but then I think it was a little bit different, and
Yes.
certainly more. Today it's corporate dollars that
That's
buy
right.
tickets, and everybody gets tickets.
That's right.
Then it was just
No, you had to
different
buy
times.
with your hard-earned money. It was
Right.
different. There was no
and so
corporate.
you had a different class of people
Definitely.
that
Yep.
were certainly doing that.
Definitely.
And,
It's cool
I mean,
though to
I don't
watch.
say that knocking. I just,
Right, no, I know what you mean. It's cool though to watch it. It's great.
What's the matter? Are you driving, Grandma? Are you driving Liz crazy today?
Producer Liz is calling the shots.
Liz
in
and
the
Greta
background.
we got a spat in the studio audience today. Hey, so
what's going on?
this was double nickels today.
Yeah, 55.
Episode 55.
Hideki Matsui, 55.
Hideki Matsui.
Sammy Hagar, I can't drive 55.
There you go. That's right.
Tomorrow, episode 56, and tomorrow we're at a special time.
1 o'clock.
1 p.m.
Yep.
12 noon Central.
That's
If anybody
12
watching
noon
in
Central.
in
That's
Central
right.
Time Zone.
10 a.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Yep.
Joe, tomorrow we have a special guest.
Yes.
And you're going to be back.
Yes, I
in the
will.
studio.
I'm going to be happy to be back on a Sunday because we're going to talk some baseball and we're going to talk maybe a little hockey.
Okay.
Maybe a little hockey because I know there's not many Islander fans here under this Rabs roof, but I'm like one of the 3 that actually bowl here, and mostly everybody's a Ranger fan. It's okay, but Peter Body is a writer for he writes for many. He writes for baseball. He writes for hockey.
Yeah.
He's a sports writer, and I believe Post and News. He might do both. I think, but he's going to be on tomorrow, and I got some Yankee questions for him.
Awesome.
Yep, I got some Islander questions, but I got mostly baseball questions.
That's great.
Because we're all jonesing for baseball.
Yes, we are.
We hope we get it this year.
We got our fill of Mets this week.
Yeah, it was cool. Listen, it was cool talking to Figgy the other day. It was really cool. You know, he said he's going to come down here maybe and bowl, and I'd love to come down here and bowl with him and maybe talk a little baseball.
In the works.
Good deal.
In the works.
Good deal.
Yes, Rob. 1 p.m. tomorrow.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. So change your notification in your calendar. When you get the notification tomorrow that we're on at 1, don't be confused.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's on at 1.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then back to our regularly scheduled time on Monday.
At 2 o'clock.
And Monday, we're going to continue baseball.
Yeah.
And talk Staten Island Yankees.
Very good.
With the Staten Island Yankee crew.
Very good.
Some interesting talk on the local scene.
Yeah, what's happening?
Single A.
New York Penn League, right?
With Will Smith.
Yeah.
The one and only Will Smith.
What about the Holy Cow? Is Scooter coming?
You never know. You never know who might appear.
Maybe Harry and Scooter could, have a play date if Scooter comes. I mean, why not?
I have to say, so this put a little damper in some of our TikTok video filming, and on Harry's wish list is to film a TikTok with Scooter.
Is that right?
So we're going to make that happen at some point.
Cool.
We can't make it happen tomorrow.
No, of course not.
Harry's got to rest after yesterday.
No, he's very tired.
It was a long day.
He's very tired.
Dennis and Terry and the Rourkes drove him nuts
Yeah.
yesterday.
Well, he earned his keep yesterday, Harry.
So we might. I don't know if we're going to get to see Scooter because those guys. I don't know if they're working. I don't know if they're going to be at home.
I don't. Well, their season usually starts like around Father's Day weekend.
Right. They would be preparing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're preparing for something, and
Probably.
we'll talk about that Monday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, good old Peter Body. Monday, the Staten Island Yankees. Tuesday, our borough president.
Oh,
the one
Jimmy
and only.
Otto is coming on.
Jimmy Otto.
See him at Lee's Pizza
with his beard.
Yeah, he's always. It seems like every second or third time I go to Lee's when it's open, he's in there having his beats and hanging out.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're gonna kick off the week with some great guests, and then next Saturday, Joey, and you're gonna be back on next Saturday.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be back.
And Nez, next Saturday, who do we got? And future Hall of Famer.
Stephanie.
No.
Shannon O'Keefe.
We had Stephanie already.
We had Stephanie. You kind of threw that at me, and I wasn't really prepared.
The coach of McKendree, right?
Up.
Isn't she the McKendree coach, right?
Yes, coach, champion.
Yeah, she's great.
Yep.
Conversation with her is
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
and
energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So next Saturday, Pro Bowler Saturday, future Hall of Famer Shannon O'Keefe.
Yeah.
Joe Cal in the studio. We got a great
back
week
again,
ahead.
baby. Back
There's
again.
no lulls happening.
Crazy.
Yeah, and we got nice weather today, so we can enjoy.
Yes.
I'm going to do a little barbecue tonight.
I think the weather
Nice,
is hurting our viewership today.
Yeah.
And I hope that when they go home, later on, they're going to sit around and watch us.
Like I always do. I usually tune in at
watch
night
anytime
around
you
6
want.
o'clock before dinner. I watch half the show, watch the other half of the show after dinner, and that's my weekday gig. And you know what? The weather this week's not supposed to be too good. It's going to be rainy Monday to Thursday, so viewership will be up because the weather's going to be bad.
Ratings,
bonanza through the roof.
We eclipsed over 85,000.
Actually,
we're past that, over 85,000 views.
I heard.
No added zeros, no nothing.
No, me and Joe like to add the zeros on Mondays. This is straight all zeros.
Because we keep it real.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. Yep.
We keep it real. That was good. That was great.
It was a good show.
Continue to watch, like and share.
I'm liking the sake bottles here. I'm really liking those sake bottles.
I'm a little tempted to open up the sake.
No, it's got to be cold, Frank.
Yeah,
Believe
it's got to
me.
be cold.
I like hot sake.
No, this particular
this
brand.
Is cold sake.
Chill it. Put it in the freezer.
I actually have a bottle of this.
Do
so
you?
I have a little bottle. I'm going to send a picture.
Okay.
I'll be excited to get that one
cool.
finished, and then by the time I'm done with that, this will be ready to go.
Cool. We have half left of that, and we have another unopened one from when we went to see Billy Joel on New Year's Eve. Not this past, but last New Year's Eve. We saw him at the Coliseum, and we went out. The whole family. My kids came. They wanted to see Billy Joel in concert.
That. I remember you
we
telling
all
me
went.
about that.
You know when it was? It was the day of the Battle of the Schools the year before last.
Yes.
Because I couldn't bowl because we had to leave to go to the concert.
Right.
So we went to a Japanese place out on the island, right by the Coliseum that a buddy of mine told me about, and the name escapes me. But that night on your way out, they gave everyone a nice big bottle of sake in like a gift box for your patronage that night. And I think about 85% of the people that night were going to see Billy Joel. So that was a great night. And that bottle is still downstairs in our cabinet, not cracked open. We went for the Kenny Soto bottle instead.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
you got to catch up on your sake.
We got to catch up on the sake, which means we got to order some more sushi. Yes. So, yeah.
Sake's good all the time.
Oh, it's great.
I love sake.
Yep.
So continue to like and share. And it always comes back to food. You know, you guys make fun of us, but it always comes back to food.
Subscribe.
Always. Especially now that Marco's back. Comes back to food.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Naz, if we're watching on YouTube, subscribe.
Subscribe.
We want you to get that little notification.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yep. Oh, and tomorrow, live golf.
Live golf
tomorrow.
That's right, tomorrow.
Live golf.
Skins game.
What are they calling it? The game for good or something?
It's for the COVID. They're going to donate to.
I forget what the name of it
They're
is.
going to donate to the coronavirus,
Yes.
to the hospitals and the nursing homes and the nurses.
I'm very excited to see that.
Ricky Fowler and Matthew Wolf against Rory McIlroy and Dustin Johnson. Dustin Johnson. It should be great. Should be great. Live golf. And I think if I heard right, no caddies. They got to carry their own clubs. Show your fries already. Kevin just said. Thank you. Thanks. My fries are ready. But yes, live golf tomorrow on that other network, NBC. But it's all right.
It's golf. It's live.
It's live golf.
Yeah.
Yep.
When we had Coley Edison on this week, she was talking about that bowling was one of the last live sports to be on before the pandemic.
So,
and so that was
where are they playing? You know,
in Florida. I think the Seminole course in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
So yeah,
there's a lot happening in Florida. Their phase one is very different than our phase one, by all means.
I would say,
their governor, who I think is John Wilders, opened up the state.
Yeah,
Governor John Wilders opened up the state. Yeah, right, John.
The one and only.
Yep.
Hey, Joe, thanks for being here again.
No problem.
Yeah,
I love it.
You're welcome.
I love being here.
Unlike Brian Bass.
Yeah, Brian. He's gonna wait till I see.
He
Brian.
wasn't here today, and if
right.
he was really quiet. But he'll be here tomorrow. I'm
It's
sure.
all right. I got a little conversation to have with him, mano y mano, when I see him. That's okay. It's all right.
Sake is rice wine.
Yes,
Kenny.
it is.
Rice
yes,
wine.
It is.
Japanese rice wine.
Yep, very good.
You can hot, cold.
Yeah, room temp, however you want to drink
They're
it.
different ones.
Yep.
Delicious. That's what it is.
Yep.
All right. So tomorrow,
I'll be here. 1 o'clock.
One and only Peter Body.
Peter Body. Talk some baseball. A little bit of hockey. And we'll talk some baseball.
Yes.
That was awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Ciao all.